say that we all should be equal. Freedom for everybody. The same way you treat white people, treat black people the same way. That is what Martin Luther King said. Now, talking about the holiday, do you really think in your head that Martin Luther King cares whether he has a holiday or not? In order for you to answer this, you just have to go back to his speeches. What is it that Martin Luther King really cared about? Stop invading other countries. Treat black people the way you treat white people. These were the message of Martin Luther King. Liberty for all, equality. These people, when Martin Luther King was alive, they hated him. They didn't like him. They put him in jail. They said a whole lot of bad things about him. As soon as he dies, now they want to act like, oh, well, they actually agreed with Martin Luther King. They want to come in and be part of history. Yeah, Martin Luther King. People like Obama, they have the audacity to call Martin Luther King. On Martin Luther King Day, you know what they're doing? They went to this memorial and then started doing some painting and whatever. Martin Luther King fought against wars in other countries, bullying other countries. Those were Martin Luther King's messages. And Obama did the opposite of that. Obama went to a speech. He went to speak to black people and said, oh, well, black people, stop whining. Black people have the highest unemployment in the United States of America. Prisons are full of black people. And the only thing that Obama can say is that black people are whining. This is ridiculous. The only person who's been fighting for the minority is Ron Paul. He's the only one who addressed the issue of drugs. Black people are in jail. More black people are in jail because of drugs. He's a doctor and he said you should treat drug addicts as patients, not as criminals. Now, Mr. Obama, if you really care for black people or if you really care for a minority, you should have addressed that. You have the opportunity to do something as a president. So one thing that I will not allow as a citizen, as a black person, is the same thing the Democrats did in 2008, where they want to use our race to try to elect Barack Obama for a second time. I will be out there and I will speak against that. Try to influence people and try to make them believe that if they don't vote for Barack Obama that they're racist. This is ridiculous. They figure out that Ron Paul is the only candidate out there who can actually beat Barack Obama. So what Ron Paul is doing is that he is actually showing that the Democrats are very similar to the Republicans. Some black people who are supporting Barack Obama are very hypocrites. And I heard them on MSNBC. I heard them say, well, Ron Paul's had some newsletters written under his name who are racist. He needs to explain himself because he's racist. Ron Paul is racist. Ron Paul explained himself many times and said, well, he didn't write the newsletters. He had some people writing the letters for him. He explained that many times and he took responsibility for it. He said, yes, I should have been more careful, but I didn't write them. Some of them I didn't even read. But see, they want to continue with that. Well, Ron Paul is racist. Ron Paul is racist. Well, tell us one thing. Barack Obama sat down in a church for more than 20 years, listening to a pastor who insulted white people for many years. He never got to explain what he was doing there. Many times they asked him about it and gave a bogus explanation. Well, he's not racist. But he sat down in that church for many years. Now, I don't believe myself that Barack Obama is racist. But if Barack Obama was not able to explain to the public what he was doing there, and he got elected as president, and many white people voted for him as president of the United States, now you hypocrites want to come out there and call Ron Paul a racist? Why don't you listen to what he has said for many years? Now, those same black people who defended Barack Obama then, who defended that, well, because he sat down at the church, it didn't mean that he was racist. He was just there at the church. Now, when he comes to their turn, And they want to act like Barack Obama has no skeleton in the closet and try to accuse Ron Paul of being racist. Ron Paul has more experience than Barack Obama when it comes to those issues. Barack Obama came out of nowhere. And we can see when somebody lacks experience what he does. And we can see that the last 4 years were the exact same 4 years of President Bush, especially when it comes to foreign policy. But Ron Paul has record for 20 and some years being in the Congress, talking about the very same thing. Now those hypocrites who defended Barack Obama then now wants explanation from Ron Paul. Well, in what language should Ron Paul tell you that he didn't write them? What language would you like to hear? If it was me, I could speak any other language. I can speak French. I can speak some African language and try to tell you so that it can get into your head, although you're not going to understand it. Ron Paul has explained in plain English that he didn't write them and he took responsibility for them. Why don't we move on, just like we moved on for our president of today? Hypocrites. That's what they are. I am not going to sit there and watch Democrats or anybody else try to use my race and to try to win this election again. It's not going to work. That is why Africans of the United States of America, a group of us, have gotten together and came up with a website called USAAfricans.com. We are trying to raise money to start a super PAC. In this super PAC, we will run ads to show what Barack Obama did in Africa, how Barack Obama will be dangerous for the next 4 years. And we will also show you that Ron Paul is able to beat Barack Obama and that he will be a better president than any one of those presidents who's been there for the past, I don't know how many years. I can probably say since John Kennedy. Ron Paul is the only one who's able to attract independents. All those other candidates, they're not going to attract any independents. They're going to attract exactly who they're attracting now. Their little Republican base. Ron Paul is attracting young people. He's attracting independents, and Democrats don't like it. Heard him on the Rachel Maddow show talking about Ron Paul has 4 delegates. This is their strategy. They try to make you believe that Ron Paul can't win anything, that he has no delegate, he has 4 delegates, and he can't do nothing. No, Ron Paul actually has 10 delegates. He received 7 delegates from Iowa and the 3 other delegates from New Hampshire. And he's number 3 in the delegates count. So put that in your head. Don't listen to what those people are telling you. This is a strategy they are using to try to make you believe that Ron Paul can't win anything. He has won 12 elections as a congressman. He has a base. He's the only one with a base. Everybody else is raising money from 1 or 2 billionaires. The military in the United States of America support Ron Paul for president because they understand what freedom is all about. They understand that our foreign policies is the worst and is the major reason why we are where we are today. A broke country. Ron Paul is not God. For those of us who are supporting Ron Paul, it's not so much because of Ron Paul. Whether Ron Paul is president or not, he has already been successful in his life. The reality is that he really doesn't even need to be president. Not many of us will get to his age and be that healthy. Not many of us will get to accomplish what he has accomplished. The reason why I personally endorse Ron Paul for president, it is because of his message. Ron Paul carries a message that not too many of us will have the opportunity to carry. For more than 30 years, he has said and spoke that message. And that is why I believe that we should support him. Ron Paul is a human being. And he may even change when he gets to the White House. Who knows? None of us really know. But what we are to do is to fight for us, for our future, for our children. We shouldn't just count on Ron Paul, but we should embrace this message and also choose to either run for an office or to do anything that we can do to try to help this country get out of this mess. That is why I endorsed Ron Paul for president in 2012. And that is why I am inviting you to join us at AUSAAfricans.com and support the cause of Ron Paul.